So today we're going to have an extraordinary speaker, and Toddy is going to introduce him personally in a few minutes, but I wanted to just tell you a little more about our organization. Toddy, as many of you may know, for more than 30 years brought leading edge speakers to IONS LA, the Institute of Noetic Sciences. And last month, we were privileged to have Bruce Lipton speak to us. He spoke for 4 hours, and if he had spoken 4 more hours, I think we all would have stayed. And what's interesting about, not only are they friends, Toddy and Bruce, but when Bruce first got on the circuit introducing epigenetics to the wider audience, Toddy invited him to speak 7 times in a row because she knew he was onto something. And he wasn't well known then. He was just beginning. He was a scientist, but he was proposing something revolutionary, that it's not our genes, but our state of mind and the field we live in, which is responsible for what happens to us in our lives. So we have a lot of food, and I want to thank Laura Saw publicly, who is part of her One Global Family organization, has been bringing us food every month. There are many people here originating from many countries, and the truth is that the truth attracts people from everywhere. The people who are seeking truth are always going to end up meeting one another. Am I right about that? Yes. Okay. So, has everybody had a chance to get some food? Everybody set? Toddy, would you please come up and introduce our wonderful speaker for today?
I'm really excited to get to introduce you to this amazing speaker you're going to have today. And what he's known for is just a part of what I've discovered, because every time my husband and I have had need for a therapist, there he was. He's been staying with us, and I'm not always nice and easy to get along with. So it's been really quite wonderful meeting this amazing person from Australia, who's not only really quite magic, and he's got some inventions on the back table to prove it, but he'll tell you about that. But he's creative, and he's brilliant, and he's kind and love-filled. Whoa, we have a lot to learn from him in this country. He doesn't do war and doesn't create fights, and so I've been really blessed getting acquainted with him. And that is a Daniel Rechnitzer from Australia, who's written several books, and my very favorite is Losing Your Mind. It's the sanest thing you can do. Because it's our minds that tell us we're not good enough, we're not rich enough, we're not whatever. And it's crazy. And we're raising our children to think the same thing. So I love what he's doing and what he's about. And he leaves this week for Florida, he's going to be making movies. So I'm really excited to introduce you, each one, to Daniel Rechnitzer. Welcome.
Hi everyone, thanks Toddy. That was a beautiful introduction, and I'm very honoured to receive that. And Toddy and I met about 12 years ago when I was out here for the first time on a book tour, and we've been friends ever since. And it's so good to be back here and catch up with Toddy and Laurie, and be here with you guys. Now, can I check if it's okay to not use the microphone? Is that okay with you guys? I'll just put it down and you can tell me. Is that okay? At the back?
Yes.
That's okay. I find them a little bit distracting. All right. Great. So we are just waiting for a few more people to join in, but obviously, as you've heard, I'm not a local. Has anyone been to Australia?
Yes.
Whoa, that was unexpected. Has anyone been anywhere other than Sydney? Oh, that's okay. Good, good. All right, well, I'm from a place up north in the islands called the Whitsunday Islands. Anyone been up there near the Great Barrier Reef? Beautiful. Looks like you've just come from there. I love it. Yeah, so I was raised in Australia, brought up in Melbourne and moved up to Queensland, and I've been living up there for the last 15 years. So we come from a very beautiful country that is obviously, as Tadi said, we're not very prone to war or violence or weapons or any of those things. And it's quite a shift to be here. But what I love about coming to the US is that there's so many people like you guys that I get to interact with who are so heart-centered and all about peace and all about love and raising the consciousness on this planet. And from Australia, we have no idea that you guys exist until I've come all this way and go, oh my God, look how many amazing people there are here. So kudos to you guys, and thank you all for joining me today. We're going to do some really amazing things. We are going to be working with the very intelligence of the universe, tapping into that for answers, for insights and wisdom. We're going to be working in the subconscious mind and looking at what are some of the blockages and beliefs that we hold on to that hold us back in our life. And we're going to be playing with some frequencies, some very powerful frequencies, not the frequencies like the 5G and all those external frequencies. No, we're not going to play with those. We're going to play with some other frequencies. So before I get right into it, I just want to see what drew you guys here. What was it that led you to be here today? What piqued your interest? Does anyone want to share?
I can share.
Please share.
I like the idea of receiving guidance, wisdom, information from the universe, which I believe is more universal and has more understanding of the whole picture.
I love that. I love that. Beautiful. So receiving guidance from the universe. I should just take a minute and say hello to our online audience. Hi guys, I'm sorry I've just neglected you there. Hi everyone, we've got a full house online there, and great to have you on. So, yeah, there's Ed. Ed's joining me in two places at once. That's great. So beautiful. Anyone else? Did that pique someone else's interest? Being able to access information from the universe, guidance, knowledge. Yep, a couple of you. Beautiful. Yep. Thanks, Robert. Anyone else? Anyone else want to share what brought them here today? Yes.
Well, I think
Gloria.
we all have programming in our subconscious when you're talking in utero.
Yes.
And I know that I certainly do have some blockages, imposter syndrome, self-confidence stuff. So
Yep.
I'm interested in learning about that.
Sure.
Learning how to release that so I can manifest what I'm truly meant here.
I love that. I love that. So if you missed that, that was Gloria talking about that she's present to blockages within her own subconscious mind that are holding her back in various areas of her life. Is anyone else familiar with that as a concept, that we have programs, conditioning that are playing out in our life in various ways? Yes, yep. That's been an area I've been working on for about 20 years and had some very big breakthroughs over that time, which I'm going to be sharing with you guys. So that's exciting. Anyone else want to share what brought you guys anything? So we've got beliefs, we're looking at the subconscious mind, universal intelligence, healings. Anyone here for healing, wanting to get clearer on illness? And oh, there we go. The ladies over there. So what are you after?
I'm a Reiki practitioner.
Are you? Beautiful.
It's 20 years from now.
20?
20 years.
Beautiful. Wow.
20 years.
Great. So you know all about healing illness.
I'm here to learn.
Ah, well, okay. I'm here to share. Hopefully I'll be able to impart something. That would be wonderful. Beautiful. Well, you guys seem to all be here for the right reasons. And I guess I should answer that. Why am I here? It's several reasons. One is I had such a good time last time I was here, which was about 10 years ago. My daughter was born here, and I had such an amazing time sharing with everyone the ability to access this consciousness, this field of consciousness that we're a part of, and teaching people how to do that. That was so much fun, and I wanted to be part of it again. We're literally on an island. I literally live on an island in Australia, not just that Australia's the island, but I literally live on an island, so I'm a little bit disconnected from the world, and it was time to be back here and join you guys and have a good time. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to have fun and share some insights and truth with everyone. So the more open you guys are, the more able I am to share and bring some insights through. So I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. Just welcoming some more people that just joined in. That's great. Welcome, guys. Welcome, Debbie. Welcome, Ron. Thank you. All right. So are we good? Should we get into it started, Tati and Ruth? Are we good to go?
Right, I just want to say that one of the reasons I'm here
Please.
is that I heard about a special vibrational machine that you...
This thing? Did you hear about this thing?
I heard about it, but I haven't seen it, and this is my first time seeing it, and I'd like to hear about the benefits of using it.
Sure. So the way today is going to work is I'm going to do the first half a bit more about questions and answers, and then the second kind of half, depending on our timing, is more to do with healing and clearing and looking at that. But I'm also going to open myself up to just being fluid in the moment and just see what shows up. And we'll be talking all about that. All right, beautiful. All right, well now I feel I can get into it. Great. So a little bit about me. So go back with me many years ago when I was a child. I grew up in a family that was full of very smart people. There were academics, there were lawyers and doctors and engineers, and everyone was brilliant in their field. And here was little me feeling very insecure, very inadequate. I didn't think that I had the same smarts or the same intelligence as everyone else. So I grew up with a severe complex. Anyone else grew up with any complex like that? Feeling not quite enough? Anyone? Yeah, so I grew up with that. But I had something going for me. I had an intense sensitivity. And at the time, as a child, I didn't realize that my sensitivity was a powerful gift. To me, I could feel people's anger. I could feel their upset. I could feel their emotions. I could feel their resentment. Often it felt like it was directed in my way. So it was a bit of a rough time, but I grew up very sensitive. And it wasn't till I was a little bit older, late in my teens, where I began to learn about frequencies. And that we, as human beings, are constantly emitting frequencies. Our brain, our emotions, organs in the body, experiences, traumas, they're all releasing different kinds of frequencies. And as I guess, learnt to trust in my abilities, I began to feel these different frequencies. And what I got to see was that feeling frequencies or being sensitive meant I was accessing information that was beyond my mind. So here I was growing up thinking that my mind is the source of my genius, the source of my intelligence. And then things started to shift. I started to realize that I was accessing information that was beyond my mind. So as I did a lot of this meditations, I started connecting to a greater intelligence. And what happened, what really spurred that on was, as a kid, feeling this insecurity, I would look around me and I would notice that there was literally genius everywhere, in the plants, in the flowers, in the planet, in the sun, in the solar system. Everywhere was genius. And I would wonder, can I access that? Is that for us? Or is that just for the gods, or God, just for the deities? So I became a bit jealous as a child. I was like, I want to be smart like nature. Because I would look at the artistry in animals or fish. If you've ever been to the Barrier Reef and you've seen the colours on a fish, or tigers or anything like that. I'm not saying tigers in the Barrier Reef, that was a full stop, and now I've moved on. We got tiger sharks. We can go with that. We got tiger sharks. So I became, slightly envious and jealous of what nature was capable of. So here I was, this very insecure kid, but I was motivated to see, can I access that intelligence? And the more I meditated, the more connected I became, the more sensitive I became to different things, different frequencies. I began to be able to connect to trees, people, all kinds of things. And I started to realize that frequencies carry information. So whatever we can connect to, whatever frequencies we're perceiving, we can connect to that information. So I remember one day I sat down and I said, all right, I'm going to connect to the universe. It's time. It's time we do this. And I'm compressing like months and months and months and months, by the way. This was a long journey. And I sat down and I got a connection with the universe, and it began to explain to me how the human brain worked and how the universe worked. And this was absolutely life-changing for me. This was a very big turning point for me. So what I was shown was that everything in this universe is essentially consciousness or thought. Okay? So everything exists in the mind or brain of God, or the Creator, or the universe, or Mother Nature. And it started to really open things up for me. And then the next thing that I was shown was that the human brain itself was designed as a micro of the macro. So if you were to look at the whole universe itself, it's an enormous brain. It's pure intelligence. Mother Nature, pure intelligence. You can call it God's brain, the universe's brain, whatever you like. And I was shown that the human brain was purposefully built as this antenna to draw upon this enormous brain that is the universe. And the only thing stopping us from doing that is not knowing we can do that, or believing we can't do that. So as I went deeper and deeper into these meditations, I began asking all these questions. What else is possible? How do we heal the body? Where does illness come from? Why do we have the same patterns in history repeating themselves over and over again? So I went on this huge journey of talking to the universe, and that was about 20 years ago. And 20 years ago it said to me, one day you're going to invent something that raises people's vibrational frequency. And I was like, absolutely not, there's no way. I'm not an inventor. What do I know about that? And we're going to talk about that soon. And it absolutely happened. So my message and my reason for being on this planet is to share with everyone that we are connected to an enormous brain. That is the universe and everything within it. And that our brain perceives frequencies, just like an internet or just like a TV. And these frequencies carry information. Everything is information, whether it's this computer, the table, the machine up here, me, everything is emanating a frequency. And if we can trust and believe in ourselves, we go into a very powerful whole brain space in which we can start connecting and accessing information. So the mind, it became very clear to me that the mind was more like a hard drive. It was storing information, and it was limited to this lifetime and various permutations and anything we learned and all of that. But there was an intelligence far beyond that was not limited to anything. An intelligence that knew how to heal cancer, an intelligence that knows how to repair the environment, an intelligence that knows how to bring wisdom and truth to heal and guide and support and love. And that's where things became very interesting to me, is that we were no longer limited to the intelligence or the intellect of humanity. We weren't limited by anything other than what we believe. So the universe began to show me the only limitation that we're experiencing in life is what we've identified with. And many of us have identified with the mind. So we believe we are the mind. Many of us believe that. We've come to believe these thoughts: I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not lovable. All those thoughts are forming the mind, and we've come to believe that is who I am. Many of you have moved on from that, which is great, but some of us still identify with those thoughts and beliefs. And that's the only thing stopping us from accessing this enormous intelligence, is that we've identified with the smallest part of ourselves, the mind and the thoughts, rather than identifying with the biggest part, which is the universe. And that's the only thing missing from most parenting, is that kids are identifying, or left to identify with, what they're told about themselves or what they think about themselves, rather than what they truly are, which is the enormity of the universe. So I've been very careful to raise my kids, and I don't say you're a good boy, you're a good girl. I say you're a good universe. So they're very clear. They're much more than just their body. So today I want to share some of these insights from the universe and bring some truth, bring some wisdom, bring some insights to any of you who have questions, who are open. And I guess I've got to warn you a little bit. Some of these insights are pretty powerful, and they're not designed to just to make everyone happy and leave cheery. They're designed to cause change and transformation. So, some of you guys might get answers that are a little bit confronting, and some of you guys might get answers that are completely validating in exactly what you've been feeling, and it just completely confirms that you're on the right track. So, I want to open the floor in just a minute to take questions, because this event is called the Universe Answers. And this is where Daniel kind of moves out of the way, and I just surrender to the information and intelligence that's coming through. Now, in this room, we have lots of different frequencies. You guys are all beaming frequencies at me. Your brain is this huge broadcasting station, and I've got to be very focused to tune in and get the right information from the right people. So what helps me is the more open you guys are, the more I can access. And that's what I really want today to be about, is to answer some of your biggest, deepest questions, whether it's to do with what are the blockages holding you back, guidance on your life purpose, financial things, whatever it might be. I'm here to help bring that information through. Now, the only real blockage that I have, or the only thing that gets in my way of getting that information, is if you don't want to hear it. If you don't want to know about it. Because then what you do, it's like the proverbial, you're holding your cards very closely to your chest, and then I've got to work very hard to get that, or sometimes I can't even get that. So I'm here to answer some questions, and then what we're going to do is we're going to look at, if we get a lot of beliefs coming up, we're going to do a whole clearing of those a bit later on as well, after a break. All right? So if we raise beliefs, I'll try and give you some truth, but we're going to do some clearing. So is everyone familiar with this concept that the brain is able to access more? You've had intuitions or inspirations?
Yes.
Yep. Now, there's a real pattern behind when those inspirations come. Has anyone noticed? You're going to say, when I'm on the toilet, or when I'm in the shower, or when I'm driving. There's a real science behind it. And I'll tell you what that is. It's when the mind is still. Okay, because you've got this incredible antenna and this spirit being connecting you to the whole universe that's telling you, whispering all these amazing things to you, but when the mind is yapping away saying, no, I'm not good enough, and no, I've got to be busy with this, and this is going to fail, and that's going to go wrong, we can't hear it. We can't get the insights and the wisdom. So when the mind is still, which is when you're on the toilet, when you're in the shower, when you're out in the garden, in nature, when you're in truth, or meditating, that's when the insights come. So you really want to cultivate as much stillness in our life as possible, whereas this new generation is, let's just occupy the brain with YouTube as much as humanly possible, in which there isn't the space, the gap to hear that intuitive knowing, which is the universe talking to you. So that's a really important practice that I engage in a lot, is making sure that my mind isn't busy. Now, it's quite busy because I'm talking to you, so I'll take a few deep breaths in a minute to get myself nice and centered. But it's always a nice challenge to bring through answers as you're talking to a whole audience. That's always fun for me. So does anyone have any questions to begin with? Might be light, might be heavy. Anyone want to start off our Universe Answers session? Kurt, you had your hand up earlier.
I have to prompt what you're talking about. I found what you have in your hand, the Enlightenment Generator,
Yes.
a valuable tool for opening up this being to a deeper question or a deeper reception of that answer.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to see if people do have a question, if they would like to hold one while they're doing it.
Yeah, we're going to definitely do that afterwards. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, I love that suggestion. I love that suggestion. Well, Ruth, we're going to go with Ruth.
I'll be the first guinea pig, okay? I've had a condition that the medical profession calls labile hypertension, which means that I have sudden spikes in the blood pressure that are unaccounted for. They don't seem to be related to any emotional state at all. And even though I'm on regular dosage of, not a lot, but some medication, it still doesn't counteract these spikes. And I've been to ER so many times that when the paramedics come, one of them said to me, "Oh, I recognize this house." because, you know, I had to call, because when it gets above 200, suddenly crazy numbers, you don't know, is it dangerous? Do I need to do something? So I'm really curious to know what the universe could tell me about why these episodes happen and
Sure.
how I can clear myself.
Sure, beautiful. All right, did everyone hear that question? Yeah. So Ruth, you said something earlier about you can't tie it to any emotions. You said you kind of written that off. And the message started coming to me right away is this belief system, I'm not safe. Okay, and what I'm being shown is that it's linked to a childhood trauma where we could go quite deep in. We're going to do a little bit more of that later, but it's linked to a childhood trauma where you were on your own, you put down, and all of a sudden, intensity. So this is a really big thing in our life, is that we've had lots of childhood trauma. Pretty much every single one of us, even if it's not a physical abuse, it's something that we have experienced, it's something that we have said to ourselves that has disconnected us from our truth. Now, in that moment, what Ruth is showing me, or the answers that I'm getting, is she was disconnected from her mother, and the minute that happened, she went, uh-oh, I'm not safe, I'm all alone, I'm all by myself. Now, when you experience an intense trauma as a child, it's like your body takes a photo of it, an emotional, full, physical, mental photo, and it stays stuck inside of you. It's like that child is stuck inside Ruth, that moment of that child. Now, what happens is, if there's any situation that is somewhat reminiscent of I'm on my own, I'm all alone, I can't fend for myself, I don't know what's happening, bang, that is going to get triggered. And even though we're thinking everything's fine, I'm okay as an adult, this is normal, this is rational, it's not the adult that's spiking, it's the child. Now, one of the biggest blockages that I find, whether it's to do with advancing your finances, your physical health, manifesting, is the trauma. They're the biggest ones. And this is the thing about the medical world, there's no tests for what trauma you have stuck in your body, right? So this is where the power of intuition and feeling and perceiving is so powerful, because I can feel that trauma in you. And this is why we need to cultivate this ability within ourselves, is because you can't get an MRI, you can't get a CT scan, you can't even get a blood test that's going to say, you've had this trauma, did you know that? But those tests will show up the damage that those traumas will do in the blood and various other symptoms in the body. So we could go a bit deeper, but I want to hold on to that one, Ruth, because we're going to do some clearing with that afterwards. But that's what it is. So many of us have these reactions. We have various, anyone here suffer from anxiety? Yep, most. Living in LA, I don't know why you're all not suffering from anxiety. I get it just being on the freeway here. Anxiety, depression, financial blockages, or anyone experience when you start running low on money, you start freaking out? Yep, no one wants to admit that? Okay. Trauma-based. What happened last time I ran out of money, or what happened to my parents when they ran out of money. And we experience this, and then we react, and they trigger that. So that's what's behind that one, Ruth. Okay, and what we're going to do, we'll do some clearing on that afterwards, but just see if there's anything else that wants to come in on that. Yeah, no, we're all good. We're going to do some clearing after, just kind of segmenting it. Does anyone else have any questions? Oh, I think you had your hand at the same time as Ruth.
I did.
What's your name?
Kimberly.
Hi, Kimberly.
Hi. I mean, there's so many places. I don't know. I could ask a million questions. So I just basically wanted to just say to you that when you asked if we could ask questions, I got so scared.
Oh, okay.
I'm so emotional right now.
Okay. Do you want to know why, or is that what?
Say again?
Are you aware of why, or is that part of the question?
It might be the question, but it's more about, I would want to know is I need to hear.
Sure.
More than anything.
Sure.
I don't know if that's necessarily needed to happen now, but I just wanted to let you know I had such a strong reaction.
No, thank you for sharing. It does take a lot of courage to ask questions in front of this group. And if I may say so myself, it takes even more courage to stand up and answer them in front of this group. But that's another story. So Kimberly, what I'm feeling immediately with that is I didn't have the right to be seen. I didn't have the right to be heard. I'm not important. I don't matter. And my problems aren't worth airing. Can you feel that?
That makes sense.
Yeah. So as you can see, that conditioning right there they completely show up in our reality at that very moment. So the time that Kimberly needs help and to share, that belief kicks in, says, no, you're not worthy, you're not allowed help, you're not this voice. But it's showing me, if we go back in time, there's this little girl, this little version of you that's being pushed to the side. Shut up. Be seen, but don't heard. Shut up. I just keep being seen, you're being told to shut up. Is that familiar?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll work on that as well. Yeah, we'll clear that. All right, beautiful. Oh, I love that you guys are opening up and warming up. This is so good. Great. The first 5 minutes is always a little bit, who's going to ask? What's going to happen?
Meredith Morgan. The question is, what is the block that's stopping my company from commercializing its very innovative technologies?
Morgan, I think there's a royalty in this for me if I answer that. If you're going to ask financial questions like that, I think I deserve some partnership. But
I'm offering that.
Yeah. All right. Everyone's a witness. Morgan just offered that to me. Sorry, can you ask? Sorry, I got very distracted by that. Ask it again.
What are the blocks
for the company itself?
from the company itself that's kept us from commercializing? We've come close a number of times. It hasn't happened. Among partners, respective partners, whatever it's been, and it hasn't happened, but we know we have incredible technology.
Okay, so I just keep being shown there's this attitude in the company around we're still not ready. We're still not ready. And there's a fear about releasing the technology and losing the control over it. Does that make sense?
Part of it, yeah.
Yeah, there is a fear of, there's someone in the company keeps freaking out and going, I'm not ready. We're not ready for this yet. We haven't done enough foundations. We're not secure enough. I just keep seeing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, but if we can stick to personal blockages. And
But then I'll say for the personal one,
yes, please.
what's kept me from making it happen faster for my company, personally?
There seems to be it's along the same lines. There's a hesitation around, is this the right time? So you need to look at that. Is this what constitutes the right time? Are you aware of what I'm talking about?
At this point, not personally, no. I mean, I'm sure there's other blocks I have. I know I do.
Yeah.
I'm not sure because I believe what we have can be used right now.
Yeah. It's not about the right time in terms of whether it's finished. It's to do with the market. It's to do with it just keeps showing me. Sorry, let me come back into your personal blockage. I went back into the company. So there's resistance in the company in your personal blockages around, am I a strong enough leader to overcome where everyone else is at? That's what I get. Does that make sense? Yeah. So the answer to that is, they all need some. They're all afraid they're going to lose it. They're going to lose that technology. But this is a deeper conversation. But that's your blockage to overcome, is to come back into, I'm on this company, I'm listened to, I'm heard, I'm respected, I'm admired. I've got to trust that in my knowing that this is ready and this is the time. It's like you're defaulting to, is everyone else ready? If everyone else is ready, then I'll lead it. But you're the leader, and they're waiting for you to lead. So you need to be the leader.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope that was helpful. Yes, what's your name?
Betsy.
Betsy. That was a tricky one, Morgan. That was all hard because there's all these other people's energies in that one, but here we go.
I'm very curious about what's stopping me from, or the universe from bringing me, attracting the partner that I really want in my retirement.
At your, sorry?
In my retirement years.
Yeah, sure. So the first thing that's showing up, Betsy, is around trust. Trust. Will I be respected? Will I be admired? Will I be given the right appreciation that I'm looking for? Does that all make sense? Yeah, yeah. So what's behind a lot of that, Betsy, is that you feel that a long time ago or throughout your life that you didn't have enough boundaries in place to protect yourself, right? And you're worried, oh my God, what am I going to do? Am I going to do that again? Am I going to let that in again? Am I going to drop boundaries just so I can have somebody in my life? Am I going to make that compromise? But you're not. The fact that you're aware of that now, the fact that we're talking about it, means that you're holding that boundary very firm. You are holding it a little bit too firm because now you're pushing away, because out of fear that you're going to criticize and condemn yourself for letting somebody in that doesn't appreciate and respect you. So you're not actually fearing that will somebody respect and appreciate me. What you're fearing the most is, what will I say to myself? What will I do to myself if I let somebody in again that doesn't do all those things? So you just got to be a little bit more self-loving and going, it's okay, we're going to do the right thing, and I will not criticize and condemn myself if we do a few trial and errors in the process. Because you're just holding yourself to such a strong account, you better not do this again. You've pushed everyone out. One of our biggest fears in life is not what anyone else is going to say to us, it's what we're going to say to ourselves. How hard we're going to be on ourselves, how much we're going to criticize ourselves, how much we're going to condemn ourselves. We are actually very terrifying for ourselves because we're the ones who have broken our hearts more than anyone else. That's the trauma. A lot of the things we've said to ourselves. All right, yes?
When I was in my 20s and I was a student, there was a movement called auto-training, and since I always had a cold feet, I thought I was going to use it. And
since you always had what?
Cold feet.
Oh, cold feet?
Cold feet, even when I was young.
Physically, or you're talking metaphorically?
No, cold feet.
You literally had cold feet?
Literally.
Okay, all right. Sorry. Okay.
So I read the auto-training book. It actually had instruction how to do it. You lie down and you say certain things in your mind and you achieve results. And I was very successful, and it turned, and I felt it. It was warm. It worked.
Warm feet. Good.
It worked. Then life happened, and I was a student. It was busy life. Got married, and I stopped doing this auto-training. Now lately, I tried to do it again, and it just doesn't go the way I wanted it. My feet stayed cold no matter what I tell to myself. Is there some kind of blockage? I'm trying to explain it that I have too many thoughts in my mind. I can't focus on it, but I think maybe it's the age that affects that whole process.
It's not the message. I'm getting a slightly different message. So just to let everybody know something about the body, and some of you may or may not know this. So the body was designed not just to be functional and have legs and eyes and ears and all these things, but the body was designed to show up the quality of certain experiences. So if we're having experiences that we don't want to look at, that hurt our eyes, then we'll actually create problems in our eyesight. If we have problems where we feel we're carrying lots of responsibility and lots of baggage on our shoulders, we'll actually get very tight shoulders, very heavy. And if you have ever had like a prolapsed disc in the spine or anything like that, generally people who feel they're under a lot of pressure because your spine is being compressed. So the body reflects what's going on in the mind. Okay? Now, in the mind, we have this range of low frequency thoughts, like I'm not good enough, I'm under lots of pressure, to I hate myself, I loathe myself, to high frequency, which is kind of beyond the mind, which is self-love and all these beautiful thoughts up here. So the lower the vibrational frequency thought that we're holding goes to a particular part of the body that represents that experience. Okay? So in this instance, what was your name?
Alita.
Alita. Great. So we're looking at feet. Now, if we look at the metaphysics of feet and legs, it's about moving forward, right? It's about actually moving forward in life. So Alita, what I'm seeing in the feet for you is I'm never satisfied with where I'm at. I'm never satisfied with where I'm going. Do you know her, do you? He's nodding a lot up here. I'm never satisfied with where I'm at, where I've gone to. So your feet are never getting that circulation of, oh, we're happy with where we're standing in life. You want to keep moving to the next thing, to where I can feel satisfied and where I can feel content. That's why they're cold.
Your feet are cold too.
That's true. I have the same issue.
Yeah.
Well,
So
cold feet, not with the rest.
Yeah, right. So one of the biggest things in life that many of us do is we have our goals and we have our ambitions, and we keep charging through life, but we never stop long enough to see how far we've come, to see what we've accomplished, to congratulate ourselves because we've achieved so much. You know, so I have this client who, you know, she's going through similar things. She doesn't have cold feet, but she's got other stuff going on, and I had to take her back. It's like 10 years ago, all your goals were to find the man of your dreams, have 2 beautiful children, own your own home, have a great business, and she's still feeling like a hopeless failure. I'm like, but you've actually achieved what you set out 10 years ago. But she's so busy moving, she's forgotten to check in and go, this is what I wanted 10 years ago. And how many of you guys have already achieved and experienced what you wanted 10 years ago, but you're still going 100 miles an hour and going, I didn't even stop to think. I didn't even stop to look how much I've achieved, or how much I've grown, how much more enlightened I am, how many habits and programs that I've left behind. We forget to acknowledge, we forget to update the records on how far we've actually come in life. And so we're perpetually moving forward, looking for that satisfaction outside of ourselves, going, why don't I feel successful? Why don't I feel satisfied? Because we're never giving it to ourselves. We're never allowing ourselves that satisfaction because we're not acknowledging the successes. So how do we get to them if we never give them to ourselves? So that's a very big one. So really important to go look at where you were and look at how far you've come through all these milestones. Start acknowledging all these amazing things that you've done. Yes, your name.
I've been a seeker all my life. I just turned 70 in March, and
happy birthday.
One of the things that was a common denominator in every study that I seek, whether it was Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, mystical Christianity, Kabbalah, was that we're all one and everything in the universe is connected.
Beautiful.
And as I was contemplating that and thinking, why don't more people in the world come to this realization and have that connection, that this unconditional love of every human being, no matter what they're portraying themselves as their persona. And then it hit me, there's no universally accepted oneness symbol like there is for everything else in the world. There's logos for companies, there's the cross for Christianity, there's the Star of David for Judaism. We have no oneness symbol. There's been people have come up with these finicky things that show the cross and the Star of David,
sure,
and the thing for Islam. And I started to download from the universe something that developed that has so much in it and so many mysteries. I could talk for an hour about it.
I can tell, yep.
So I'd like to have a validation from the universe, if you can.
Do you need a validation?
That this is the
do you need a validation?
My goal right now is to write a book about oneness, how it's the key to inner peace and raising consciousness. An important part of it is to share the oneness symbol and figure out a way for the world to accept it as the oneness symbol. So when people see it, they are automatically, their mind realizes, oh yeah, we're one, because we tend to forget it.
Okay, so the question is, you're asking for validation? Okay, and the universe is denying your request. Because the universe doesn't want to encourage self-doubt. So would rather a question be, why am I feeling I need validation? Why am I doubting this? That would be the question that the universe would rather you ask.
Okay, I'm asking it.
Are you? Okay, which one would you like to go with?
I'd like to know, well, to be honest, I just thought it would be nice to have that validation, but in my heart, I'm going to go for it whether it's validated by the universe or not.
Well, it's already been validated by the universe. Why aren't you trusting that?
Good question.
That's what it's asking. Why aren't you trusting that? You will give it, it's rhetorical, unless you need to go there. But the point is, if you channel something, if you've connected and you've been given it, if you want everyone to embrace it, you're going to have to embrace it.
Right.
Yeah? Without question, without doubt.
Right. Yeah. That's a good point, because I've always been quite a skeptical and analyzing everything that I was taught until I opened my heart to stop being analytical.
Okay, so the message that I'm getting on that is one of the biggest tricks the mind and those in power ever played on humanity is to separate science and the universe. How can you separate them? Where did science come from?
Right.
The genius of the universe, right? So where did you come from? The universe. So when you say I'm being skeptical or cynical, it's like, but you came from that very intelligence that's given you that as well. So you are that which thought of that.
Right.
Yeah. You're an extension of that creative genius. Nothing to doubt, nothing to question. Just go forward.
Good.
Good. All right. I love it. Ed.
You have a question on Zoom from Lori.
Do I? Hello, Laurie. Oh, hang on. This might be a bit tricky to do the online questions.
It's in the chat.
Do you want to read? Oh.
Can you read it out? Yeah, I can read it.
Read it to me.
She says she has a question. She loves making stuff, jewelry, glass stuff, ceramics. She goes to shows, but she doesn't sell anything. People say my stuff is beautiful and they don't buy it. Should I keep trying or just give up?
Okay. All right. Hi, Laurie. Give me the tough ones in front of an audience. Thanks, love. All right. Let's see what the message is coming through. So part of it, Laurie, is this. It feels to me like you have a possessiveness, that you love your jewelry so much you actually don't want to share it. Isn't that right?
Oh boy.
Yep. You do want to share it or you don't? You do, you sure? Okay, because what I'm feeling, Laurie, is that you just so prize it, you so value it, you're like, oh my God, if this goes to another home, is anyone going to love it and appreciate it as much as I do? How do you feel about that? Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so you've got to realize that it's going to be beautiful in somebody's home, whether they appreciate it to your level or not. And whether it's them who loves it or a child who loves it or somebody else picks it up, you're spreading your love, you're releasing your love through your products into that home. It's like a love generator. Okay, so they don't need to see it the way you see it. You've infused that product with your love and the household will benefit. And you want to spread love into this world, so let it go. Okay? Yeah. She's happy with that. Okay. Oh, lady with the hat. What's your name?
Hi, it's Michelle Potter.
Hi, Michelle.
So I was married 28 years. And I have sold everything and bought 4 40-foot high cube containers.
Oh, cool. Container home? Yep.
Pretty much couch surfing.
Oh, okay.
For the universe to send me the direction. I have had, just since 2008, about a dozen PTSDs. And I'm going through some major stuff, but I'm powerful. I just learned I'm a projector.
Oh, projector generator. Oh, yeah.
22.
Yeah.
I'm an Aquarius. I
Okay.
fit that. But then I'm a Leo and a Cancer rising, Leo moon.
Okay. What's your question?
Where do I go with this? I was making $350,000 when I was 25 years old. I can pretty much do anything. God gave me a good brain. I need some direction.
So career direction, finance direction, purpose direction?
I can do anything, truly. I can build a house from the ground up. I sold industrial real estate. I was number 10 out of 1,200 guys. They call me Martha MacGyver because I can cook and make decorations and flowers, and I can look at something and I say, I can do that, and I do it. So I'm here for the world. I bought a buttload of silver. I'm waiting for it to go up. I bought it at 18, so it's already gone up, but I'm gonna have a lot of money. And I wanna do something for humanity. I know that there's a lot of suffering families, children, J6 survivors. I'm one of them. And there's a lot of traumatized people in this world, and I want to be there to help them.
So what, your first name was it Martha?
Michelle.
Michelle, I'm going to just say something a little bit confronting, okay? Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
So one of the blockages, so the question that you're asking, where to from here, right? What's next? And the message that's coming through, before we can go there, there's something that needs to be resolved. Now, what's being shown to me is self-resentment. You're carrying a lot of self-resentment. Are you present to that? Are you punishing yourselves for things in the past?
My husband never complimented me, and so I got cut down a lot, and I'm in a very bad situation, kind of the same thing right now.
Yeah. So it's very hard for us to move forward in anything, or even let alone receive the clarity of where to, when we're annihilating ourselves. Okay? So would it be helpful if I bring to your awareness some of the things that you're saying and sharing with yourself? Is that, or would you rather that be not public, or are you happy for me to share? Bring it. Okay, you heard her. Bring it. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of self-criticism around there, that you were stupid to trust this person, that you were foolish to let this person into your life, you should have known better, you're smarter than that, but now I'm starting to think I'm stupid because I've done all these stupid mistakes. So if I'm stupid, therefore I don't deserve success, I don't deserve progress, because I'm going to fuck it up in the end anyway.
The very end part, I don't get that. Everything else, you were right on. 3-time world champion Muay Thai kickboxer, and I am being so hammered right now.
Right, okay, yeah. So there's a belief that even though you've got all these amazing talents, there's this belief it's going to come to an end. It's going to be taken from me. I'm going to ruin it. I'm going to make a mistake. It's not going to eventuate. And that's what you're stewing in. Okay, so you need to change your relationship with yourself, that you're not going to keep creating mishaps and disasters and traumas. And you also need to change your relationship with life, where the universe is saying, I want to get you as far away from that situation as possible, but whilst you're running around in circles and annihilating yourself, you are, it's like you're kind of saying to yourself, I'm only worthy for this. I'm only enough for this. So the universe is trying to say, we know you want more, but whilst you see yourself as being less than worthy for more and only worthy for the abuse, and because whilst you're punishing yourself, you'll let in punishment from others, right? So it's saying...
I had a really bad concussion at the end of 2018, and that's what's kicking my butt. I'm trying to do all that energy work and brain work to fix those traumas.
Yes, there's layers. There's layers. It's very hard to get. What I'm being shown is that up here is how you communicate with yourself on a conscious level. Then underneath here's the traumas. It's going to be, and you want to move forward, but you have to stop resenting yourself for and calling yourself stupid for all the things that have happened, because they happened for things that were outside of your control. Beliefs, programming, various situations that you weren't able to see or manage. So you need to start with, how can I be a little bit more self-loving? Because that's the thing that's going to stop that spiral. Okay? And then the moving forward is, it's like it's not even ready to ask that question until you stop annihilating yourself. So I'm sorry that's come up, but that's the message.
So because I threw a charity concert in Oahu last month for the Maui Dew victims, and I realized that 45 days in humidity was not for me. I'm a fourth generation Santa Monica native.
Right.
So, which direction? Because I've been looking for property, like from San Diego.
Are we on a new question?
Carmel County.
Are we on a property question?
Yes.
Or can we circle back to that? We'll just give a few more people a go.
Yeah, because I just need to know, should I go north or south?
Okay, let's circle back. But I just want you to sit with the answer that was given to you and just see, what can you appreciate about yourself? What have you gotten right? What have you done well? What is great about who you are and what you're capable of? Especially that you have an awareness that you're in a situation that is less than what you're worthy of. Start acknowledging that. That's going to raise your frequency. Okay? Just if you can sit with that for a bit, that would be great. Okay. Thanks, Michelle. Yes, your name?
Joyce.
Joyce.
So I'm single, a similar question to the other woman, and I'm wondering if there's something I'm not aware of that I'm
pushing,
and
preventing.
The question comes up, is there such a thing as karmically a person is not to be in a couple for that lifetime?
Oh, you're wondering, okay.
More about some block from something, dysfunctional in my family in the past. So thanks.
Okay, so that's a great question. Let's have a look at what's coming through on that one.
I didn't hear the question.
Oh, you didn't hear the...
Can you repeat it for us, please?
Was it not on?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes. Just say your name again?
Joyce.
Joyce?
And I'm single, and I'm just wondering...
What the blockages are.
Yeah, what I'm not aware of that's keeping my being in a committed long-term relationship.
So there's a couple of things that I'm seeing that are coming through, Joyce. One is there's this fear around being yelled at. There's something about that inside of you. And there's this fear of, I'm not going to be whatever this person really wants. I'm not going to be what they want. Do you understand that one?
I hear you.
Yeah. So it's like, I wouldn't put it in the rejection scale of things, like the worried of rejection, but it's more along the lines of, I'm going to be overlooked. Whoever's in my life, they're not going to see me and love everything that is really me, because I'm almost invisible. I can't actually be seen for who I really am. Do you understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Do you need me to keep...
As a little girl in my family, I did feel left out quite...
Yeah, it's like people look past me. Is this the energy? People look past me. People look over me. They're not gonna see me. So I'm gonna always remain invisible. So how am I meant to attract someone? Because you see yourself as invisible. That's the blockage.
So does the universe have wisdom of how to shift and transform that?
Yeah, sure. Okay, I charge a little bit extra for the answer. No, sorry. Let's have a look. Okay, so where all this starts, we go back to trauma, and we have this belief, we see we have got this belief, I'm invisible, but if we go underneath that, is a time where you rejected yourself and you went, I'm not going to allow myself to be seen because that's where I get hurt, that's where I get judged. So I'm going to hide myself away. Now the trauma is, I deserve to hide myself away, to keep me away from people, because there I can't be judged or seen. I don't want to be seen because that's where I'm judged. Does that all make sense so far?
Do I look at that as an act of love for myself? That's how I take care of myself?
That's how you saw it many, many years ago. I'm going to protect myself. Well, what you've got to realize is the trauma was in deciding I'm going to hide myself away. You took something away from yourself. You took, I'm not even going to look at myself. So what this is about is if you want to be visible, you need to start looking at yourself. You need to see what makes you important, what makes you amazing, what makes you extraordinary. Otherwise, you're not going to have it in your reality that somebody else has the propensity to do that. Do you understand? If you don't see yourself, you can't imagine anybody else seeing you. And whilst you still feel I need to hide myself away, I'm not worth looking at, then no one else is going to be able to see you. Do you understand? You got to start seeing you. Start letting in, not wait till you have a relationship so you can feel acknowledged and validated, important and loved. You've got to give that to you now. Our beingness now, the beingness into a situation is how we'll feel at the end of situations. So if you come into a relationship with, I'm invisible, I'm not loved, A, no one's going to be able to see you, so you're continually experiencing that. So you've got to come into it as, I'm worth seeing, I'm worth loving, I'm worth acknowledging, I'm worth loving. You've got to be that with yourself first. Does that make sense? Okay, all right, good. All right, cool. Yeah.
My name is Vicky.
Vicky?
Yes.
Okay, hi Vicky.
Hi. I cannot sleep.
I'm glad because we don't want you to sleep right now.
Yeah, I mean, at night I cannot sleep.
Okay.
And when I do sleep, I get jolted by my nightmares.
Oh, okay.
It's nonstop.
I'm sorry.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
been on for years.
Really? And do you know where that came from? Just out of nowhere, you haven't been able to sleep?
Well, it goes in and out, but it's just exhausting. I'm exhausted.
Okay, so what would your question be? Because there's a few there. There's a few there. There's a few there.
What's blocking my ability to rest?
Okay, just okay. So what I'm feeling inside of you is a lot of anxiety right now, right? So that's kind of blocking me from getting the answers. So yeah, take a couple of deep breaths and know that I'm not going to say anything that endangers you. I'm only going to bring to light truth that's going to help you overcome this. And I'm not going to say anything bad about you. Okay? So if you can just let me in a bit more and just be open to, because it's like you're going, I want to sleep, but I don't want to know what's going on. What if it's really bad? What if, yeah.
Well, the nightmares are terrible.
Yeah, so you've kind of shut me out a lot. So how are you feeling now? Are you feeling a bit better? Okay. All right. Let me put this on your lap for a second. I'll talk more about this soon, but let me just put this, if you want to hold that.
Okay. Ooh, wow,
it's heavy, yeah, it's heavy. Please don't drop it. You'll hurt your foot. That feels better already, okay? Oh, got another one. It's all right, sure, they just keep coming and going. This is great. That's good manifesting. Yeah, it just flows right to me. All right, so let's have a look, Vicky, as to how can you rest or how can you... I just keep seeing there's two questions there. How can I rest? How can I stop the nightmares? There's a few things there. So, you want me to tackle both? Or is there one? Okay. So it just feels like, similar to what's come up, it's a combination of things. I don't feel safe. I don't trust myself to put myself in a safe position. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yep. Also, I can't depend on myself. I can't rely on myself. I'm always going to put myself in harm's way. I'm stuck in this body. I'm stuck feeling that I'm the biggest threat to myself.
That makes sense.
Yeah?
Yeah, my dog and I were viciously attacked by a pit bull 3 years ago.
Yeah, I kept going. There was some abuse of something. There's something that happened. Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of the nightmares started.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so there are three kind of things that need to be healed within this. One is this belief that I'm completely irresponsible with myself, that I'm so unsafe with myself. That needs to be healed, and we'll focus on that after as well. The next layer that needs to be healed is that this is all my fault. About the dog, the incident. So you're smashing yourself with this is all my fault, right? Does it make sense? And the next thing that needs to be healed is coming into an understanding that the universe is trying to support you and trying to have you be safe, and wants to kind of float you on this bed of clouds as you sleep at night. But whilst you are so angry at yourself and so feeling so insecure and unsafe with yourself, you can't let yourself sleep. That's why you can't sleep. I'm not safe with myself. Yeah. So we'll try and heal that one after as well.
Thank you.
Okay, I hope that was helpful.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's big stuff. Yeah, great. All right. Yes, what's your name?
Sharda.
Say that again?
Sharda, rhymes with Florida.
Oh, I love it, Sharda. Welcome.
Thank you. 2 years ago, I took on a whole new enterprise running a wellness center. And I work a lot with frequency as well. I'm a sound and energy healer.
Oh, beautiful. Love it.
But I've also taken on a lot of other high frequency devices as well. I help a lot of people. I've helped to reverse disease. I've helped with trauma.
Amazing.
And I love what I do.
Yeah, there's a butt coming.
I have a block
Yep.
when it comes to making money. I'm always just breaking even, barely. I can't even pay my rent. I have a son I have to take care of. So it's been an ongoing issue, and I'm at the point where, do I give up and just do something else, which I have no idea what that would be, because this is what I love to do.
Yep.
And this is my life mission.
Is everyone hearing the question?
My purpose.
Yep, it's all about being on purpose, doing what she loves, but not making the money that she wants to make. Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
So that's where I am. The question is, what in the universe is creating this block for me with this business?
Okay, so one of the biggest, again, hoaxes perpetuated on the spiritual community is that everything I do must be of service, and everything that is of service must be free. Okay? Who's got that belief? Right. The people playing football, throwing balls around, deserve to earn, what, 400 million over 5 years? Movie stars having a great time, 30 million a film? But us who are giving life-changing advice, what, we should do it for free? That's the blockage. The blockage is, this is a gift from God. If it's a gift from God, you shouldn't charge from it. You shouldn't make money from it. Can you feel that?
I've worked hard to overcome it, but I have had to lower my prices because of nearby competition. And I don't want to do that anymore.
The blockage isn't the competition. The blockage isn't anything other than I'm trying to hold sacred what's been given to me, my gifts. And there's a collapse between if I charge people and therefore maybe perhaps make it inaccessible to people, I'm not honoring the sanctity of what's been given to me.
I understand.
That's the blockage. Okay. Now, there's no connection between the sacredness and charge. Like, one does not offset the other. Like, you can do what you do and charge for it. Then the universe doesn't say, oh my God, I can't believe she charged for that. I gave it to her for free. Doesn't do that. The ball player doesn't. He is given the same gift to throw a ball, and he's happy to earn 400 million. The universe doesn't say, I can't believe she did that. The universe is saying, thank God she's valuing her gifts. This is amazing. I'll give her more. I'll give her more clients. I'll give her more money. I'll give her clients that actually have money that can pay. So the clients are just mirroring, I don't want to invalidate the sanctity of my gifts, therefore I'll only attract those who can't spend that much, or don't want to, or are hesitant, don't value themselves, just like me. They're just mirroring you, right? So you've got to shift that space and go, the universe has given me a gift as it's given everyone else, whether you're a movie star or an athlete or whatever you are. I need to value these gifts. They're even more valuable than what these other people are earning. Because they're from the universe, they're incredibly valuable. Because they change lives, they're incredibly valuable. Of course you should be charging for them, right?
Yes, it's just about attracting those people.
No, it starts with you. Because the universe does this amazing thing where it says, I get that you don't know what's going in your subconscious mind. I understand that. So I'm going to mirror everything that's in your subconscious mind in your experiences. So you can see who you're being in life. I will give you who you are being in the people that enter your life, in the clients, showing you exactly whether you value yourself or whether you don't value yourself. And this is the real key behind manifesting the law of attraction is the universe says, I will match whatever, I'll give you whatever experience relates to how big or how small you see yourself. Now, if you want more in your life, you have to see yourself as more. If you want less in your life, keep seeing yourself as small and insignificant and without value. So, it's time to see yourself as more and your gifts as incredibly valuable. What I'm getting, the message from the universe is saying, like you've seen a gold bullion before, like a gold bar. So, imagine every time you do a healing that you're giving somebody a gold bullion. You're going to want money back for that, aren't you? Yes or no? You like giving gold bullion out for free? No? Yeah, see, every time you're giving an exchange, here's my gold bullion. Then the universe is like, good, now she's getting it. It wants you to get this lesson. It wants you to value your gifts.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who could relate to that one? Yeah? 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 Oh, yes. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Margot.
Hi, Margot.
I've been considering moving to Mexico or Costa Rica for a couple of years.
Sounds nice.
And, but I'm kind of wondering what's in the way of moving and of changing career maybe in doing it. There's a lot tied into it.
I was going to say, what's the question? How would you, if you were to create a very succinct, concise question, what would it be?
Okay. Can I just say, will I be moving to to Mexico or Costa Rica?
It doesn't feel like that's the right question. What's the motives? What's behind it?
I think the biggest motive is wanting to find my gift, bring my gifts to the universe in some way and figure out what they are at this time in my life.
Okay, so
That's more of what, and I feel like by moving there, I can do that. I don't feel like I can do that.
see, this is why there's this discrepancy. It was like there's some non-truth in the background here. It's like I can't do this until I do that.
Right.
Right? So let me see what the question is that the universe would like you to ask is, all right, what's holding me back from believing in myself?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you are wherever you go, Costa Rica or wherever you end up, you're going to bring that same blockage wherever you end up, right?
Right.
That's not going to undo your blockage. Okay, so let's have a look at that from that point of view. Is that the question you want asked?
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
Okay. Okay, so the first blockage that I'm seeing is this belief around people aren't ready for what I have. People won't accept me for who I am. People won't get the value of my gifts. People won't understand where I'm coming from and who I am. I don't understand where I'm coming from and who I am. I don't value my gifts. I don't value my contribution to others, and I don't think it's worth paying for. How does that sum up the blockage?
That sounds pretty intense. Sounds like a lot of blockage happening there.
We're the same as all of us.
Yeah.
We've all got them. So here, the message is we're constantly projecting outward to see, are they ready? Will they value me? How will they see me? Will they get me for my entirety? And in that projection outward, and we feel like pretty crappy in that space, right? You've got to come in and go, I'm doing that thing where I'm putting all my power out to everyone else instead of going, it's me who doesn't value me. It's me who doesn't see my worth and doesn't see my contribution. It's me who's not ready for everything that I have to give. It's got nothing to do with anyone else. They're the things that need to be shifted. So whenever you guys are feeling, I'm not wanted, I'm not loved, I'm not seen, I'm not heard, I'm not respected, I'm not admired, come back and go, all right, I'm not seeing myself, I'm not admiring myself, where am I not respecting myself, where am I not listening to myself, where am I overlooking myself, where am I not being loving to myself? It's got nothing to do with anyone else out there. I promise you, never. It's always about us. And we experience that about us as if it's coming from everyone else out there. But it's in our field. So we don't see our reality as it is, we see it as we are. So the reality out there is the reality in here. So we just got to keep remembering going, I'm feeling really unloved today. Where am I denying myself love? Like I go through these phases where I take things away from my life. Like I'm not going to buy myself this house I want. I'm going to get rid of this and I get rid of that. And then I feel, oh my God, life's trying to take all these things away from me. It's like, what have I taken away this time? I get depressed. Then I look at what I've tried to take away from myself. It's like, I've done it again. Bad habit. My parents used to confiscate things from me as a child to punish me. So I learned to take things away from myself to punish myself. Anyone do that? Anyone else do that? Take things out of your own life to punish yourself? Yeah. So they're things we need to work on. Okay. But come back inward, value your own stuff. Yes, your name?
My name is Fanny.
Faye?
Fanny.
Fanny.
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
I got downloads.
Yes, beautiful.
And, excuse me? And,
is it on?
I want to know.
I think it's on. Try talking now. Let's see if there's any difference.
Okay.
No, same thing.
So
Okay.
I can talk.
You can talk. I can hear you.
So I was saying that I got download a protocol, and it's called Minute Miracles.
Minute Miracles, great.
And I think there are a few people here who knows it. And I want to know, so the goal is to reach people from all over the world, and I want to know what it's going to be.
What is your marketing strategy? Yeah. You want me to give you your marketing strategy?
Is to know if it's going to be...
if it's going to be successful?
All over the world.
Okay, so I'm feeling rather than if it is or if it isn't, because I don't want to create belief systems within you. Rather, I'm feeling the question is, what is going to set it free? What will set it free? Are you happy with that question? Would you rather free?
I don't understand what that means to set it free.
What will have it expand and grow and continue into this world?
Yeah.
Is that your question?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, great. So let's see what the answer is. Do you have a personal question, or you want to stick to the business one? I'm kind of, there seems to be a little bit, when it's to the business, it's, yeah, this is more of a personal forum. Do you have a personal question? Like how about we rephrase it to something, what is within me that will allow it for it to expand and grow? Can I go with that? Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right, let's have a look what the answer is within that. Is you need to visualize the impact, the expressions, the look on people's face, the transformation that will happen when somebody receives and uses this.
Yeah.
And you need to walk around with that firmly in your heart as the outcome that you're not going for, I want to make this many sales. What you're going for is, I'm in love with the impact that this is going to have on people, and you can see it, you can feel it, you can sense it, and that energy is what's going to have it expand. Okay? That's the answer that I'm getting. And then that will guide your decisions, that will guide, because everything's going to be coming from, I'm after the impact, that sensation, that satisfaction, rather than I need to please some void or hole that's within myself. I'm after, this is what I'm going for here. You come from that space, that beingness, that will create it. Okay. You're welcome. Hi.
Hi, my name's Kara.
Hi, Kara.
I feel like I'm on a path of change and growth.
Who isn't?
And a lot in the past few years.
Yep, sure.
And I feel a lot of energy right now. I've been seeing this life with someone. And I think I'm supposed to have a partner to do all these amazing things. And I'm just curious how I need to get there.
So you're with it. You don't have the partner now, but you're envisaging a life with the partner.
My twin flame. I just don't think I'm ready. Let's do it.
You're ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm ready.
So your question
but
is.
I'm not sure if that's. Am I really ready? Is there something I need to do to get there?
So there's a belief there, a program that says, I screw everything up.
I don't feel that way at all, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what I'm getting from you. That's so.
In love, you mean?
Pardon?
In love, or just
general?
Weird.
General. It's like I'm successful, I'm accomplished, but underneath there is it's going to be my fault and I'm going to get it wrong. That's what's hidden. That's the blockage. So it's like, I don't want to let this in because I don't want the validation of something that I've been scared to see all my life. So a lot of these subconscious blockages, a lot of these things that you guys are asking me, some of them are so deep, we're not even letting ourselves see them. Some of them you guys are going, yeah, I can relate to that. But then there are those that you've gone, I didn't even want to know about that. And you've created so many layers of protection around that. And that's what's behind that one, is that you've created so many layers of, like, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to do great things and achieve all these things. Is that you? Do you do that? That's you? Are you sure? I'm getting
walking my life like I am.
Yeah, that is you. I'm going to achieve all these things. I'm going to do all these great things. And why? Because I don't want to screw up my life. That's what's underneath. So our ambition, our drive to be successful and achieve, for many of us, is covering this wounding in there that says, I know I'm ultimately going to be a failure and everything's going to implode upon me, so I'm going to fight, I'm going to conquer, I'm going to achieve, I'm going to win, and everyone will see that I'm a success. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, that's something I got to really dig to see.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you've covered it up with all these great achievements and all this great success and ambition and striving. It's just a wounding in there that says, I don't really think I'm going to make it in the end. And that's the blockage, because what we're really afraid of, this is all of us, is that one day somebody's going to come into our life and say, you were right. You are never going to make it in your life. You are the failure that you thought. You are the unlovable person. You are the unseen person. We actually think that these beliefs are true. And we're petrified that somebody's going to walk into our life one day and go, you were right all along. You are the loser that you thought you were. It's terrifying. So what do? We become ambitious, or we become, like I'm naturally an introvert. I have to generate myself to be up here. I'll be sleeping soundly tonight. It takes a lot. Everyone feel that way? They got that question, right? Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about how to shift beliefs. Now, I've been very fortunate that since talking to the universe many years ago, I received some amazing information on how to clear subconscious limiting beliefs. And I put it out to the universe, this was about 15 years ago, how do we do that? And back then the answer was with truth. Okay, if the subconscious beliefs are beliefs, then if we bring truth into things, that helps dissolve and remove those limiting beliefs. And we did that for about 10 years, and it's been very successful. But then recently, about 3 years ago, as we're helping people heal all kinds of illnesses and helping people heal all kinds of blockages, and I've been writing books with, like there's books over there with some of our biggest and deepest limiting beliefs, I became overwhelmed. I became overwhelmed with the number of beliefs that we are carrying around. Now, we are carrying literally thousands. So every time we would heal somebody of a belief, there'd be another one or another 10 or another branch of beliefs that goes off in this direction, another branch that goes off into that direction, and more trauma and more upsets and regrets and resentments, and it was just this mammoth undertaking to help heal people. Has anyone experienced that as healers? You just never ends. What do? And you clear it and you help people and they feel great, and you might shift an illness or shift a blockage, and it's great. But there's still more. So I got very overwhelmed by that, and I ended up sitting down and talking to the universe. And I said, is there a better way? I love what you've given me. Truth is amazing. I love bringing truth into people's lives. I love bringing it into my life. I've written several books about it, or with truth, but there's got to be a faster way. And so I began to get these visions, these pictures, materials, blueprints, and I went on this whole journey about frequencies. Now, I mentioned frequencies at the beginning. Now, we are inundated with frequencies in our life. We've got light frequencies, we've got sound frequencies. We're beaming frequencies at each other all the time. You know, you can walk into a house and you can feel, oh, what's that? Oh, there's been an argument in this house. You're picking up on frequencies. You can sit next to your husband or wife and you can go, oh, they're a bit angry at me today. You're picking up on that person's frequency. The brain and the body is a frequency receiving station. The more sensitive we are, the more we can perceive what those frequencies are about. So we're being bombarded by frequencies all the time. So I sat down in this journey, and as I said, I began getting these images of this box, and it's made of copper, and I'm like filtering. It's like a game of what do you call that game where someone's got to imitate and... Charades, thank you. It's like a game of charades with the universe. Yeah, it's really, that goes on for like a year, and you get shown 100 different pictures, and you've got to somehow piece them together and make sense of them, and you think you're making one thing, and really you're being shown 10 different things, and it's really quite a journey. Anyway, at the end of that journey was this box that sits on some of the tables. We tried to put one on most of the tables here, which is called the Enlighten Me Frequency Generator. So the universe began to show me that in the night sky, we're surrounded by stars, obviously, but every star has a unique frequency. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. That was mind-blowing for me, that every star has a unique frequency. Now, each star is a message or an idea of the universe, okay? Which is amazing. So each star, one star could be the message of love, one star could be the message of consciousness, one star could be the message of forgiveness. So whatever idea, remember the universe is this giant brain. Now brain has ideas, God has ideas, the universe has ideas. These ideas are being expressed in physical form through stars. Now, you don't need to believe me. I'm just sharing what I was shown. Okay? You don't need to take it on. I'm not imposing a belief or even a truth on you guys. This is just what I was shown in my connecting to the universe. So the universe was saying, as enormous brain, I create, I have ideas, and I put them up as stars. And as the star, it's constantly bringing that frequency, making that frequency available to various life, various planets, various other stars, and it's this whole neural network. Stars talking to each other, electrons firing. It's all exactly what's happening in our brain. And then I was shown how to make this machine and said, you're making this frequency amplifier. I was like, okay, great. And what's it for? Well, it's the exact frequency required to shift people's beliefs out of their subconscious mind and out of their body. Because what some of you might not know is when we think of the subconscious mind, we think up here in our head. But the subconscious mind is this. It's everywhere. We're storing beliefs, experiences, regrets, resentments, bang, 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 everywhere. In all of our limbs, in all of our organs, in our cells, they're being stored in those respective places. Like I was sharing before, they're in our eyes, they're in our teeth. The subconscious mind is using the whole body, everything, cold feet and all. Yeah. So I began to be shown that there's a specific frequency that we can draw on to actually shift these blockages, these beliefs, and shift them quickly. Because, as I said, I was getting frustrated. Now, as I created this device, the Enlighten Me frequency generator, I thought I was creating a frequency generator. But then I felt this beam of energy coming out through the middle, and it was connecting up into the sky somewhere. And I said, well, what's going on here? I said, you didn't create a generator and just generate frequencies. They're already in existence. You've created an antenna. I said, to what? I said, to a star. To Sirius. Anyone heard of the star Sirius? Some of us are from there. Dog star, yep. It's the brightest star in our sky. It's 20 times brighter than our sun. And it's very, very powerful. And I started researching it. It's been known for millennia for some civilizations as the source of consciousness, as God itself, as the source of enlightenment, as a force of our awakening. So I started to go, well, this is pretty amazing. Let's play with this energy. And I got to really speak with this consciousness, and it says, I'm responsible for life on this earth. And there's one in every major civilization. It makes consciousness, life possible. So Sirius plays a very big role in our system, in our local neighborhood. Now, so this machine that I've got there, now some of you have them at the table, some of you don't. We're going to use this frequency because it connects to Sirius, and we're going to clear some beliefs with it. We're going to clear the subconscious mind. Now, what I'm going to do, we're going to do a couple of things. One is I'm going to go and connect with the subconscious mind of everyone in this room, because you're all merging together, and I'm going to use that frequency to clear what we all have in common. Now, for those of you who had questions and I said, we're going to clear specific beliefs, we're going to have an opportunity to do that. So if there's a specific blockage that you guys, that you're aware of and you want to shift, we're going to work on that, okay? You just write it down and we'll get to that. But I'm going to warm you up on some other beliefs. So we're going to use this frequency. You don't need one at the table. I will spread that energy around, okay? And then we're going to use that frequency, and you're going to feel, some of you may feel it, some of you may not. It's okay if you don't. It's for me, it's very strong and intense, but I've been working with it for a long time. For some of you, it might be a bit subtle and you might not feel it. But you might feel the shifts. You might feel, well, hey, yeah, that belief doesn't have the same sting to it anymore. I don't feel that intensity. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm going for here. So I feel like I could use one up here. Do we have one over there still? A spare one? Raoul or Sweetgrass? George, don't exaggerate. Oh, okay. Oh, look at that. Okay, all right. All right. So what we're going to do now, if some of you don't want to participate in this, that's totally fine. I know some of you want to be. Some of you guys are like, no, I'll do my own work on myself. That's totally fine. But we're going to get you guys into a nice kind of deep meditative space, and then I'm going to bring the energy in, and some of you guys might feel that. And by all means, let me know if you feel that. I'll share that. So if you guys would like to take 3 nice deep breaths, like nice deep belly breaths through the nose, get ourselves nice and centered. Take another one in. And do another one. You guys online too. And what I like to do is do a nice rhythmic breath of breathing in for 4, holding for 4, and then out for 4. So breathing in for 4 counts. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And release for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just keep going with that rhythmic breath. And I'm going to do some work with these little devices here. I'm just going to spread that energy around. Put your hands up if you can feel the energy in the room. Yeah? Great. If you can't, it's totally fine. I'm just checking. I'm just getting validated. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to go through beliefs. I'm going to say them out loud. Now, these are not affirmations. I'm not putting them in your head. I'm taking them out. Okay, just so you know. Now, as I'm saying them, you can do one of 2 things. You can just allow them to shift and dissolve, or you can visualize them going into the sun. You could visualize them going into a black hole far away. Either way, we're going to be clearing them. So as I say them out loud, the intention is we've got this beautiful energy of Sirius around us, surrounding us, immersing us in this frequency. You're in a very safe space, and many of you would be feeling quite safe right now. It's a powerful energy. It's based in truth, awakening to our absolute truth, clearing the non-truth that's inside of us. And I'll just go through one by one. We'll start off slowly. And the first belief that's showing up that we're going to clear is I'm stuck. I'm stuck is the belief. And some of you might be present to that or not, but we're just going to go with that. So I'm just going to dissolve that from you guys. And just let it go. You don't need to hold on to it anymore. Just let it go. Who feels clearer? Anyone feel clearer? Yeah, Jean feels clearer. A couple of you feel clear. I'll go a little bit longer just to get more of you done. Okay. So that one's done. All right, we're going to go on to the next belief that's showing up here, and just let it go. Don't worry if it's still hanging around. We've moved it on. The next belief here that we're shifting is, I don't want to see my greatness. I don't want to see my greatness. So let's clear that. Let that one go. Many of us are afraid of it. Nothing to be afraid of. It's a very peaceful space to be in. All right, beautiful. Should I keep going? We good to keep going? Yep. Okay, next belief we're going to clear is I'm without worth. I'm without worth, or I'm worthless, either of those. We're going to get rid of that. All right, nice. I'll keep going. Next one we're going to clear is I can't trust myself. I can't trust myself. We're shifting that, dissolving that. And there's a truth that's wanting to come in instead, and that is I can love myself. We're bringing in a truth. I can love myself. Great. That was a big one. All right, next one we're going to be clearing is I'm not enough. We're clearing I'm not enough. Time for that to go. Just let that one go. Okay, you guys are doing great. Don't worry if you're still feeling them hovering around, there's just some residue there, we'll clear that soon. And we're going to now shift another one, which is I keep hurting myself. I keep hurting myself. Let's clear that out of us. And there's a truth that wants to come in with that one as well, is I'm a blessing to myself and all others. I'm a blessing to myself and all others. Okay, great. The next one is I'm not abundant. We're going to clear that. I'm not abundant. Clearing that out of us. We are the abundance of the universe. It's impossible for us not to be abundant. Clearing, I'm not abundant. Great. All right. Now what we're going to do is I want you to think of whatever blockage that's been there for you that you're aware of. Hold that in your awareness, one that may have come up today in one of your questions. or even if you're not quite aware of exactly what the belief or program is, just the area of life that you feel that blockage in. And just hold that intention for that area, and we're going to hone in on that. Good. Some good ones, some big ones there, some painful ones. All right, so let's let those go, all right? So whatever you're holding on to, we're just going to use this frequency here, and I'm going to go to the deepest part of that, to where the deepest wounding is, to where that deepest belief is, to where that originated within yourself. And we're going to take that wounding away. We're going to reverse that situation, whether it was a conversation you had with somebody or a conversation you had with yourself. And we're going to shift that. And we're just letting that go. Let that move right up, out into the stars, into the sun. And let that shift. Realize you don't need to hold on to that anymore. It was never you in the first place. Okay.